Good afternoon, friends. Well, we're back to working on the Panhead again today. I did have to rebuild the carburetor. Had to take it apart, had to clean it out. It was pretty gross inside. It had some sand-like material in there. And I'm not sure if that's the float bowl falling apart or what's going on there. But that couldn't, obviously it couldn't be in there. Had to come out, had to be cleaned. So the whole carburetor's been gone through now. I pulled it all down, cleaned it all through the outside, cleaned it for a little while, took it outside, sprayed it out, brushed it up, put some new seals in it, and put it back together. When I did that too, I snapped the end of the throttle cable here, the spot that connects to the linkage on the carburetor itself. That was pretty weak. You could see it had been bent a few times, and that actually broke. So this needed a new throttle cable. That's been done. The points have also been adjusted. These were way out of adjustment. So those are set now. Today, I think I'm going to try to fire this thing. Today, I'm going to turn the fuel on here. We're going to kick it a few times, and we're going to see if we can get some fire. I'm not sure if it'll start. I hope it'll start. I think I'm at the point where it will start and run, but we're going to find out. So let's go ahead and get the fuel turned on, get some fuel flowing here. Close the choke up. I'm going to tap the float bowl a few times here and see if we get some fuel going through this thing. I smell fuel, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to give this thing a few prime kicks here. We're going to see if this gets me anywhere. We'll go half choke, turn the ignition system on, give it just a little bit of throttle, and see if we can get this thing to start. See if we can help it out a little bit here. Okay, take number 2. I have gone through and replaced spark plugs, and I did notice that one of the wires is kind of in bad shape. So I replaced spark plug wires too. I've tested them and they do both fire, so I am getting spark at both plugs now. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the time that this thing will run. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my handy can of ether here. We're going to open up this throat here, give her a couple shots. We're going to see if she'll fire. Close. Oh my gosh, that was refreshing. I'm gonna catch my breath for a minute. See if we can fire it again. Well, friends, there you have it. She lives. It's smoking a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on there. I know the engine has sat for a very long time, so I can only imagine what's really going on. I know it is leaking at both of the flanges here for the exhausts. I need to go ahead and tighten those up. I need to check my push rods again now that I've heat cycled a little bit. I'm going to start it a few more times, run it a few times, and then check everything. Check the push rods, check the plate, check the intake, check all the normal things you would check. But this thing's a runner. Let's see if we can fire it up one more time. I think it'll start on a couple of kicks here. I hope it will at least. Well, friends, as you can see, got this thing running. It did finally start and run. It did smoke quite a bit, but the engine has been sitting for a long time, so there could be a few issues going on with that. Also, I see there's a few things that are loose in here. The panhead studs here, the studs that cover the pans, those were loose for some reason, and I did lose a little bit of oil there, so I was getting an air leak there. So that was an issue. The exhaust flanges at the heads were also not tightened down all the way, so I had some exhaust leaks there. So I have to button those things up. It still doesn't want to start real well. It starts kind of hard. You kind of have to kick it and kick it and kick it. I noticed that the carburetor is still leaking out of the bottom float bowl, The crush washer may not be tight enough. The crush washer may have crushed improperly, and I may have to replace that again. That's probably something I'm going to take apart soon. Also, I know that I need to change the oil on this thing. The oil that's in this bike came to me in this bike, and I can only imagine how long it's been sitting that way. So I do need to change the engine oil and the transmission oil just so that this thing has fresh oil in it. It does have fresh gas in it, so I know the gas is good. I'd like to go through the carburetor one more time and get that thing buttoned up and get it to where it doesn't leak. I also need to go through and check the push rod adjustment to make sure that those are set and ready to go. And I'd like to check the timing. I feel like the timing is just a little bit off. I think it could be advanced a little bit more just so it runs a little better and starts a little easier. But those are things I need to go through. I need to get this thing up in the air. I need to go through and check everything out and see, where its shortcomings are and get those buttoned up. Once I have those particulars done, then the next step is going to be taking the wiring completely back out of this bike. I'm going to go ahead and shorten everything up. I'm going to clean it all up, and I'm going to make it look super nice. I've got a bunch of wire ties, and I also have some shrink tube. I'd like to shrink tube a lot of this stuff and kind of get it together. I know this has this toaster wire, which is really kind of a good looking wire, but for the most part, I'd like to get a lot of it kind of buttoned up into one strand so it looks a little cleaner. And then I think it's on to maybe test riding this thing to see how it goes. Make sure that the clutch is adjusted properly, make sure the brakes are working properly, make sure it'll run down the road under its own power. And after that, then it's back to its owner. I'm really pleased with this bike. I'm really happy to hear it running. It's nice to be able to have it finally start and run and hear it. I've never heard this run, and I know that my buddy's dad hasn't heard this thing run in this configuration. So I sent him the video, and he was pretty stoked. My buddy was pretty stoked because I actually got it going today. Well, friends, that's it for this video. I know it's a quick and short one. I just wanted to kind of get this thing going, kick it a few times, show you guys where I was at in the project and that I could actually start it. And now that it started and running, I've got an idea of a checklist of things that I need to take care of now to get it buttoned up and ready for getting off of this lift. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. If you got a comment, drop it below, please. I'm really enjoying the correspondence that you guys have and all the projects I have going on, so feel free to leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. My subscriptions continue to grow, but I'm still showing about 90% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel, so I have to ask you, why not? Anyway, hit that subscribe button, help me out, help me grow this channel, share these videos with your friends. If your friends like old panheads, share the video on your social media so that way they can see my videos and maybe they'll subscribe too. That's it for me today. I'm going to button this thing up a little bit more and get myself out of here. Got a lot of work ahead of me. Had a little time to mess with this, so I'm going to get done what I can and I'm going to get back to regular work. So I hope you all have a great day.